They wrote me off, I ain't write them back. Nah. Follow me, but don't double tap. I ain't liking that. You subscribe, I monetize. Now who's striking that? Wanna see the contract? Who got the rights to that? It's my story. I spent my whole life on life. Time's up. Shador Sanders with the rollie in the armor. I could do this shit with my eyes closed. The main attraction don't come at me with no side show. I'm selling high, they wanna buy low.
Good morning, man. How y'all feeling? How y'all looking? How y'all doing, man? I don't know if you're at work, you're at home, you're at the gas station, you're getting your tires changed, rotated, whatever it is, man. I'm glad you here in the kitchen with us. You wash your hands before you come in the kitchen, but we glad you here. You know, me and my boy Rock, we here to serve y'all up, man. See what's popping, see what's good. Tuesday morning, man. Hey, you know, another weekday, Rock. How are you on this weekday thing? Are you like a Monday morning is bringing you down and then Tuesday?
Yeah, definitely bringing me down.
Go? For real?
Yeah, absolutely. My week doesn't really start until like Wednesday, Thursday. So I have a long ass weekend. It's really nice.
You're supposed to say Tuesday. We on here, brother. Your week's supposed to start today, my man. Come on, man.
This still feels like the weekend because it's so much fun for me, man. That's the only reason why. So it's just like when it gets to Wednesday, Thursday, that's when it feels like, ugh, man. Yeah. I shouldn't be saying that because I get to live both of my dream jobs and stuff like that. So the whole week is a weekend for me. So,
hey, life is a weekend, brother. That's how we gonna keep it going. But other than that, though, bro, other than the week stuff, man, what you got going on, man? How you feeling this morning, bro? How we serving them today, man? You know, shout out to the people that's here. We gonna tap in with y'all. But how you feeling today, Rob?
I'm coming off one hell of a weekend because I got to do one of my favorite things me and my wife love to do, which is to host people and cook up for them. So we were able to do that both on Saturday and on Sunday. On Saturday, after we cooked up some of those Wagyu steaks I was posting in the Discord, we went to the theater and we saw the Columbus Orchestra play at the Ohio Theater. That was awesome. It's been a minute since I grew up and really love classical music. It's just one of my favorite things. Okay. So I grew up really loving that. And then afterwards, in the evening, we watched the movie The Thing. And The Thing is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. So we had one hell of a weekend. It was awesome. Just cooking up for people, enjoying people's time. That's what it's all about.
Nah, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up, man. And actually here in DC, we have a orchestra called the Candlelight, I think it's called. And it's like, I think the whole stage is lit up with candles. So everybody is playing instruments is surrounded by like hundreds of candles. I don't even know how they walk on this thing, but I'm pretty sure they have a way. But it seemed pretty dope. It's something I probably want to do soon. So you kind of just motivated me to try to shoot my shot on that one, man. So yeah, man, this morning, Rock, I didn't even start the show how I said I wanted to start it. I said I was gonna get on here, say something, then drop the intro. But hey, man, everything don't go as planned. We always throw audibles. Audibles get thrown at us, and the offensive line broke down on me, and I had to scramble, man. So it was what it was, but we picking up the playbook, and we good now. So we want to see what's up with the people, though, man. I see my boy Jay Jack was in here early. You know how he get down. He said first at the table. So, you know, hopefully, you know, we glad you here, my brother. You know, Jake right behind it. He said, respect, man. You know, the pregame crew always in the building. My boy Terminal Sarcasm in the building. Who else we got up here? My boy Connor was good, bro. He doing that marathon startup. And Connor, man, I'm gonna get up with you soon, man, about your draft, bro. I want to hear about that, how everything went, and kind of get some takes from you on how you thought it was. So Cooper says first time live. Hey, man, that's what's up. That's what we need, Coop. We love to see you, my boy. So I'm glad you here today. I know you're the busiest man on the planet, man. You're always working. So whenever you get time and you come tap in with us, bro, we gonna hook you up something right, you know? So, and my boy Soggy Danger is in the building. I always call, you know what's so funny? I always call my boy Danger all the time. I don't know why I never call him
Danger.
I don't know why I never call him Danger. Like, what the hell is wrong? Like, my vocab is totally off, bro, when I be reading the stream sometimes.
You've been hanging out way too long for me. I'm always purposely fucking up people's names.
Maybe if you put Dangerous at the end, then I can be like, I bet. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna call you Danger us, but nothing like that. But shout out my boy Soggy, man. He in the building. He said, what's for breakfast? we got some things for you, bro. We got some things for you. First, we're gonna start off with bad news about what happened. I believe last night. I woke up this morning to sleeper alert saying, "Hey, man, breaking news: the phenom, one of the best athletes in the game, young, doing her thing, Juju Watkins, man, tore ACL last night." I didn't see the clip. I saw a picture of her holding her knee, and we all know once somebody doing that, man, it's never good. So, we had that whole thing about Jaden Daniels and Juju over the weekend, and Jaden mother stepping in, and it's like to see all of that and see they've been running the footage of Juju and Jaden, and now 2 days later, poof, So I'm sure this is going to be very detrimental to the USC Trojans. And I mean, since it's March, right, Rock? I mean, these type of injuries, they take almost a year to get themselves together. So will we even see her come March Madness next year? Like, I'm hoping that we can, but I'm not going to lie, man. Selfishly, I told myself that when she comes to play Maryland this year, I was going to go to the game, take my daughter and all that. So selfishly, I'm a little hurt because I'm like, damn, bro, I was going to get my one chance to see her in a USC uniform, cook, do her thing. And we missed out on that one, man. So I know you ain't in the women's basketball game, but just how you feel about that, man? If you knew anything about Juju before this.
I mean, honestly, I don't watch too many women's sports, and I actually have, like what I've been saying to you over this past couple of months, I'm kind of just out of basketball all of it together and stuff like that.
I understand.
But when it comes to her injury, with medicine and stuff like that, I think we can hope and expect for her to, be back by this time next year at the very least. So she'll be back, hopefully by the time for March Madness and stuff like that. But whenever you're one of the best at your sport, you do have to take notice. And she is one of the best when it comes to college basketball. So pray for, a quick recovery, for that and for her. So.
For sure. And it just sucked because she's on a trajectory right now, Rock. She's breaking records every day. And we all know Caitlin Clark was there. She was breaking records. So Juju going out like this and not having a full season to kind of break every record possible, it kind of sucks, man. So hopefully with medicine, like you said, she get back. Stephon Diggs, I heard, is getting back, man. Maybe it's Cardi B. Maybe it's just the medicine. I don't know. But if Stephon Diggs at 31 years old can be back in shape in 7 months, Juju should be pretty good at 19. So shout out to Juju. We love you. Hopefully you do your thing out there in Cali. I can't wait to see you get drafted, man. Do your thing, baby. But speaking of young athletes, right, Rock? Last night I hit you, and I know this wasn't on the sheet, but I said, hey, man, that boy Cam Ward had a pro day, man. And I heard he was out there cooking. So the one thing that I know we always talk about, and everybody else pretty much, is him and Shador. Like, him and Shador, that's always the conversation of who's the QB1. And it's kind of getting more and more that Cam Ward is the QB1. And I will say with Shador not throwing at any pro day or pretty much not doing anything after the whistle blew and his helmet was off at Colorado, I think Cam Ward is saying, I'm the QB1 and I'm going to show y'all why I'm the QB1. So him doing his pro day, him going out there having a great pro day, did he solidify his role, and is he rocking and rolling in Tennessee, bro? Is he, standing next to us, or is he in the hood next to little baby? I don't know, but what he got going on, man?
Even before he had his pro day and Shador not doing his, it almost felt like Shador was just like giving that 101 directly to him. He's like, I'm not going to even fight it. I'm not going to even bother. I already know where my position is in the NFL draft. But for me, like when I watch that, it's so great whenever you get to watch, a player in his environment at his very best and seeing him throw off platform. That's one of the best things that he does. All the clips that I saw of him were like on the run. Him scrambling and just throwing these, ultra precise throws to Restrepo.
He was fading away like a jump shot. Yep.
Every throw that I saw from him, and it was only like 10 minutes worth of clips. I wasn't able to find like the full 30-minute workout that he had, but every single throw he had was like, damn, that is a awesome throw. And most of those throws were ones I never really saw from Shador, throughout the season. He has a completely different game from Cam Ward. which is why I think Cam Ward, he is the solidified 101. And then when it comes to our fantasy drafts, like I still believe that Genti is in rarefied air with Bijan and Saquon as being one of the best backs that we have seen in a long time. But if you're in a superflex league and you need a quarterback, you should feel confident getting Cam Ward. So if you have like maybe 2 101s, spend one on Genti, spend one on Cam Ward. But I think he absolutely solidified his place with being the 101. All 32 teams were in attendance watching him. Apparently, he got up at like 4 or 5 hours before the event was even supposed to start, and he was there early. He was dialed in. I can only imagine just being in that time, just having it tick away and stuff like that. He was anxious to get out there, and luckily he stepped up. The only question, though, is like if he does go to the Titans, we've talked about this before with different quarterback landing spots. He would be going to the 25th best ranked pass blocking team, the 24th in receiving, the 19th in defense. That's the only reservation I have. But, you know, as someone who as poised as he is, that can make all those different throws and just who he is as a quarterback, just being the best one in this class, I think he could elevate things, but it's still going to be a little bit rough. But he does go to one of the worst divisions in football. But I don't know. Are you worried about that Titans landing spot, or do you think he's going to elevate? Things will definitely be better. But how do you feel about him going to the Titans?
I think it's a challenge. I'm not going to say that I worry that he won't be a good quarterback, but I worry about when. You know what I'm saying? Like when is the impact of Cam Ward going to hit the Tennessee Titans? I believe it'll impact the team right away because he's, you know, miles ahead of my man Mayo that's over there. But I will say for him as a rookie going through the process of a losing team, a bad franchise that needs to be fixed up from the ground up, he got to keep his morale high. You know, he can't go in there with his head down and say, man, bro, we 0-5 right now. Like it's over with, you know? So he got to take his lumps and just fight through it. So I can't really say when I think he's going to impact the team, because I think it's not going to come on the field. I think it's going to come in the locker room when they're down, like I said, 3-9 in the season, and he didn't give up. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be that locker room to me, man. I'm a locker room guy, man. I like the environment. I like to feel good. Even when we losing, I like to feel good that the people around me like, hey, man, it's all good because next year or next week or, you know what I'm saying, looking forward to what's next. So it's more so going to come off the field for me with Cam Ward because it's not going to be a good season. But, hey, man, we saw Jaden Daniels do his thing with the number 2 overall pick team. And, hey, anything's possible, right? So I do believe Cam Ward is the quarterback. If Tennessee needs one, I do believe he is the answer. I just hope that they can find a way within this year or next year to kind of put more pieces around him, man. I mean, maybe in this draft, get another receiver. We see Calvin Ridley over there. We got Chiggy. He's the tight end. Treylon Burks. I mean, if he can ever stay on the field, we know Treylon Burks is a big play guy. But, hey, maybe with that arm that Ward just showed us, maybe he can get an 80-yard touchdown to Treylon Burks, and we all like, yeah, this is who we needed, you know? So I'm just wishing for the best with Burks. But I do believe Ward is the answer, though, and I do want to see him go to Tennessee if they want to go quarterback.
And to the Titans' credit, they did we're going to be going through it today. They did pick up Kevin Zeitler, who is the 5th best guard. He is 34 years old, though. That's the only other thing, but it's still ranked the 5th best guard. They also picked up Dan Moore at tackle, who is an above average tackle. But the other thing is, too, you know, if you are going to go to a rough situation, it might as well be in Tennessee. Tennessee is one of my favorite. Nashville is one of my favorite cities. They have all the speakeasies there. The people are super nice, you know, super loving and stuff like that. So even if he has a rough game, then he can just go up to, you know, Nash Vegas and go to those honky tonk bars and just, you know. So it's just like sometimes when the situation's rough, you just got to surround yourself with the good vibes. So
that's it. That's it. Well,
situations he can go to.
Oh,
you can't do that in Cleveland. Can't do that in Cleveland.
No, hell no. And speaking of, you know, his pro day and everything, man, I got this clip. I wanted to see. I mean, look at this pass right here, bro. My boy's running to the left, boop, right on the money, man. I said, damn, you know what? When I saw that play right there, Rock, I really must say he's standing on I'm QB1. Let me show y'all this trick I got in my back pocket. And he just threw it. It looked like what? Oh, what was that? Like 90? It was at 80 yards, man. He had the 15-yard line when he threw it. That's a hell of a throw right there, Rock.
It's amazing. Yeah, that one's a really, really good one. Man, I heard Restrepo, excuse me, I got something in my throat. He ran a super slow 40 at his pro day. Man, I hope that's not true. I hope it's not, because if he ran like a 4.8, which is what I heard he ran, man, that's pretty bad. So
that was for that throw comment, Rock. But yeah, go ahead, brother. Well, I'm gonna say this, man, about Restrepo, and I saw this earlier. I wish I would have clipped it, but let me get to it because I commented on this. And Restrepo, yes, he had a slow 40. He ran like a 4.8 on his 40-yard dash, right? Restrepo came out and said, time to put the ball down and play. Man versus man. No more stopwatches. And pretty much what he's saying is, y'all worried about this 40 time. Let me get on the field and show you what I'm going to do. I'm not worried about this slow 40 and this and that. Because, Rock, I will say this. Shout out to Restrepo for standing on it, but for saying that, but he got to stand on it. But I will say there's plenty of cornerbacks that run a 4.4 that can't check nobody. So you could be 4.8 and still dominate, against this guy that's running this 4.4 that could stay with you. So if you running that slow, when you get drafted, every single play, though, Rock, Restrepo now has to show everybody, damn, you know what? That 40 time that we took, it wasn't so bad now, So his focus should be forget the 40. That was yesterday. Today, put me on the field versus anybody, and I'm gonna dominate him. That's how he got to think because he already gets slept on at this point.
what I'll have to go do is go look at his miles per hour because that's what really matters in college football, and that's one of the things I track is miles per hour. The 40 is so nuanced and so niche. That's where all the track athletes, are able to stand out and stuff like that. Ain't no one running just 40 yards down the field, straight line and stuff like that.
In your backyard, maybe, but yeah, not on the NFL.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope the best for him, but yeah, it kind of just does limit the ceiling just a little bit. I was really hoping he would be like anywhere from like the number 6 to number 8 wide receiver. That might be a little bit lower now, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what situation he goes to.
I was just about to say, situation is key, bro. That's what is always key. A good coach can disguise that 4.8 and make him look like he's a 4.5 in no time.
People need to stop saying that this is, a terrible quarterback class, because if our threshold is at least 2 quarterbacks that can come out and be top 12 quarterbacks in the NFL, I think Cam Ward is solidified as a top 12 quarterback day one in the NFL. And then we'll see maybe by the end of the season if your dude Shador or my dude Dart, they get into that conversation. Or maybe even Will Howard. I don't know. Who knows?
That's your boy.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, shout out to Cam Ward, though, man. He is solidified himself as the QB1. It's just a matter if the Titans are going to go QB at 1 or are they going to trade back, get a DN. That's to be seen, man. And draft night, we will be here to break that news to y'all. So more breaking news. My dog, my boy, my homie, the crab leg king in the building. My boy, Jameis Winston, just signed with the Giants over the weekend. I believe this happened on Friday when me and Mike was on. So Jameis Winston, man, is he the answer in 2025 for the New York Giants and all their quarterback problems?
Hell no.
I'm going to say this. Shador is still on the table for me if Ward is gone and they want to draft the quarterback. So, he got a 2-year, like $8 million deal. So they can cut him tomorrow and probably not care about it. But let's just say for the show's sake, they don't go quarterback. They go get Quentin Ewers in round 4 or 5 and just say, hey, he's not playing for a year and a half. Jameis is our day one starter till, otherwise, right? If not for anything else, Rock, he's going to move offense. Now, this is a horrible offensive line. I will say that. Like this, you talk about Sam Darnold in Seattle, man.
28th in pass blocking, 29th
in Sam Darnold in Seattle. The Giants is he gonna be seeing ghosts, and he might see giant crab legs coming at him out there in New York, man. So I'm gonna just say, man, I'm always a homer with J-Mo, man. I'm always wishing the best for him. But again, I'm a locker room guy. And I do believe, even in a losing situation, Jameis Winston is going to make you feel good about losing, bro. He's going to have everybody smiling and happy. And you know what? I can't even be mad at this guy. I'm going to play for him, even though we losing. And I might not can stand the coach. I might can't stand the owner. But this dude right here, I'm going to play for him because that's my guy. So I believe of Malik Neighbors. We just saw him go out there and break the receptions record, get targeted 20 times, 18 times, 15 times. I don't see no way in hell Jameis Winston probably won't get that next level to that record. And if you got Malik Neighbors, hey, get ready for a season because it's about to go down if J-Mo starts the whole season. So
did you see that clip from the Super Bowl when Jameis was interviewing Saquon Barkley? And he's like,
he said New York need a quarterback.
Where should I go? And he said New York. He's like, which one? The Giants. I was surprised by that.
You know what's so funny? Now the Giants listen to Saquon. They ain't listen to him when he said he wanted a contract though, right? But yeah, man, Jameis Winston is my guy. So hey, I'm always gonna root for my boy. But what do you think he can do for the Giants this year, Rock? If he's a quarterback, is he the answer? Do they need to get a Russ? Because I'm hearing they still looking at Russ too. I don't know. And was this the right signing between the free agents and them maybe drafting a rookie? Was this the right signing for 2025?
It is, because if Cam Ward, like we were talking about earlier, goes at 101, and then the Browns go Shador at 102, those are the quarterbacks right there. They're not going to go 103 with Jackson Dart. Dart is going to fall. So I was hoping and praying that, both Shador and Jackson Dart, they were going to go to situations where they didn't have to start right away. Mm-hmm. Let's say, just for argument's sake, the Browns go Abdul Carter?
Abdul Carter, yep.
Yeah, they go Abdul Carter at 102, and Shador does fall to him. That's the most ideal situation you could possibly hope for Shador, because you have a veteran quarterback who can win you games and start for at least half a season. So if you start for half a season, that was the number one thing I really wanted for both Shador and Dart. I did not want them to start day one. They have things that they need to work on. So I hope that it does play out that way. I hope that Shador does fall to number 3 and that Jameis Winston, he starts day one for the season and allows Shador to get acclimated for the season. But I don't know, like, I loved Jameis Winston as well. All the different quotes that he has. Please, Lord, deliver me from these pick sixes, that kind of stuff. He does really rally around his teammates. He loves them so much. So that's what the Giants need. There's this negativity about the Giants over the last few years and their coach and everything that's going on with Saquon Barkley. So we need somebody like Jameis Winston to go in there, lift those spirits up, and then show Shador, this is what it takes in order to be successful in the NFL. And he has had success. Even though he's been from team to team to team, he reminds me like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick is my favorite NFL player in personality.
Magic, baby.
He's so great. And Jameis Winston, he's in that same category as well. So you need those types of players. They play a very important role. I don't like any hate that Jameis Winston gets because all the pick sixes and stuff. Hey, shit happens. So, but yeah, I'm excited for this situation. Absolutely.
For sure. I'm looking forward to it, man. He in my division. Hey, he might challenge Dak to have to put up a 50-point game because my boy is gonna go out there and throw that ball, man. So but I'm really more so looking forward to not just them signing Jameis, but what's gonna be around them. Are they gonna go O-line in the draft? What are they gonna build around? Not build around Jameis, but kind of build around the team so that when they get their quarterback, now we ready. So I'm rooting for Jameis to start the whole season, though, bro. I'm looking forward to it. And we're going to move on to something. We're going to keep it short, like the player. And we're going to speak on my boy, Brandon Cooks, man. He just got signed with the Saints. Quick question, Rock. Are the Saints a believable offense right now? Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, Derek Carr, and Brandon Cooks. I mean, I know Brandon Cooks is 30 years old. That picture is a throwback from when he played before. But I'm going to be honest, man. I think Brandon Cooks missed Dak last year, and I love Brandon Cooks, man. I still think he's quick. One thing a lot of players don't lose is quickness until they lose it, right? And Brandon Cooks still had that quickness, man. So if you out there with Brandon Cooks and Alvin Kamara and Olave, those are quick players. And I think a guy like Derek Carr, who has Kellen Moore, who air raid offense type of guy, I don't see how they can't go out there. Last year, I think the first 2 weeks they put up 40+ points back-to-back weeks. It fell off after that, but I don't see how they can't try to keep that up. Now, I don't see them winning games and being successful, but what I'm saying is offensively, though, adding a Brandon Cooks, veteran leadership, kind of help the guys around. Alvin Kamara, veteran leadership. Derek Carr, veteran. They got a lot of vets over there, man, and they may be one piece away with picking up another receiver or drafting one late. I wouldn't mind seeing this offense on the field for our fantasy teams at least, and give us some points and some yards, man. What you think about this Brandon Cook signing, and can they run the table as far as the offensive statistics go in the league?
Well, don't forget about my guy Rashid Shaheed. You know, when he is healthy, he is
going
to
to
be.
I ain't bring him up because he hurt, but I don't mean to cut you off, Rob. But I will say, if he is healthy by week 10, week 8. Bro, this is the fastest offense beside Miami in the league, bro. I mean, they taking off.
Yeah, I think Baltimore might also give them a run for their money too. They got some fast people over there.
D-Hop slowed them down a little bit, man. D-Hop slowed them down.
I'm just talking about just name the top 4 guys. But anyway, Rashid Shaheed, man, whenever he is healthy, he is so damn good. But you're talking about that speed. I don't know what Brandon Cook's speed is, you know, at his, I think he's 31 years old right now. But if Taysom Hill was healthy, man, this would be an above average offense.
This would be a fun offense to watch, bro.
It would. So, like, that's the thing that I'm most sad about is Taysom Hill's injury, because he's one of the most dynamic, you know, NFL players out there. Whenever he gets out on the field, he can do anything. And then they signed Juwan Johnson to, you know, a contract extension. He's, you know, a very solid tight end. I am excited. And this is part of the reason why, like, when I was saying earlier with Kellen Moore, you know, don't rush to judgment until, the ball is snapped and the plays start going. So let's see what he can do. I think he is going to catch people off guard. They are going to get some wins that maybe people don't expect. But then a lot of it does come down to defense. The defense, I think, is going to be the main thing that suffers. But, you know, with these players, if they're able to be healthy, if Chris Olave is finally able to, you know, become what we all hoped that he would be, what we saw at Ohio State, and then Alvin Kamara is still, you know, still extremely productive. I think Brandon Cooks is an above average complement to an offense. A lot of times teams are only just one player away from having a really cohesive offense that can just continually go downfield and just give defenses fits. I really like this signing for the Saints. I think this was great, and they're still able to be competitive despite having the most hamstrung salary cap in the NFL.
I mean, 2 years ago, the Cowboys went 13-3 with Brandon Cooks on the other side of CeeDee Lamb, bro. So I don't see why. I'm not saying this signing is, oh man, the Saints are going to win the South, but I do believe, just looking at the speed on this offensive side, and with Brandon Cooks still being 31, he's quick enough, man, to do those 4-4, 4-5 cornerbacks dirty, bro. So, yeah, I mean, I see my boy ATM was in the building. What's good, bro? Or maybe he's still in the building. What's good, bro? Yeah, he hell of a slot receiver, man. And Olave maybe going over the top. And man, I like what I see right now in New Orleans. And you know, me saying that takes a big pill to swallow, bro, because I ain't the biggest Derek Carr fan. I can't stand Kellen Moore, but I will recognize real, man. And that's a real signing right there, man. Shout out my boy Voorhees, bro. So, yeah, Easy B, bro. We're gonna try to get at you in 1 minute, brother. Right now, man, the main part of the show we want to talk about really was the PFF grades. I know y'all have your favorite teams. You might not understand all the signings and all these names. So we're going to go through as much as we can, not holding the whole show up, but as much as we can on each team, look at their grades, see why they got those grades, and see if y'all agree with them. So shout out to y'all for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's the reminder. We in the kitchen, and Rock is about to put them ingredients together, baby. We're right back after this commercial.
Welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Like and subscribe. That's what we really appreciate. Welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate.
Just like that, we back, baby. Just like that, we back. Moms must have knew we was on commercial break, and she pop in, seeing what's cooking. We got something in the kitchen in the oven right now for you, Mom. Don't worry about that one. But yeah, man, we gonna get on to these PFF grades. Already got it queued up. We gonna get our faces up off this screen. There we go. All right. Can I hear you now, Rob?
Oh man, I was so scared. I was by myself.
My
And
fault, bro. My fault. I just realized. All right, I'm trying to get used to the screen sharing. So this is what we're gonna do. There we go. All right, let's keep us on the screen. There we go. Because when I noticed, I'm like, I'm talking, and ain't nobody saying that. My boy, is he gone? So all right, there we go. We good. So let me go back to the other screen. My fault. Can you hear me? We good?
Oh, we're good now. I just wanted to say,
right, here we go.
So with these PFF grades, we had 7 A's. And then we had 5 teams that had C- or below. So with these 7 A's, we had the Bills get an A-, the Bears get an A-, the Broncos get an A, the Rams get an A-, the Vikings, headline, and that's why we put them on the thumbnail. They got an A+.
Yes, sir.
And then the Buccaneers and the Commanders had an A-. So of those teams, which one do you want to talk about with some of their moves and stuff like that? Which one do you want to talk about first?
All right, well, I ain't know we was gonna do it that way, bro. I was gonna just scroll down, give a little bit of bing, bang, boom, ping, and then
go back to that, I spent over an hour reading this thing.
We're gonna go high rock. We're gonna high rock on. I'm gonna let you kick it off, bro. You tell us where we starting, and we're gonna go from there, boy. Let me know.
Let's start, with the headline first, the Vikings. So if you click on Minnesota, here are the 3 signings that really stuck out to me.
Mm-hmm.
So they beefed up their guard and their center. Those 3 players, your 2 guards and your center, like I've always believed that tackles were the most important position on the line. But the way that the NFL has gone, like that center and those 2 guards are just as important, if not even more important now than those tackles. So being able to get one of the best guards, in football with Will Freeze, I think is really, really pivotal. They gave him a whole hell of a lot of money with a 5-year contract for $88 million. But then they also get from the Colts, Ryan Kelly. Now, the Colts last year, they did regress a tiny little bit. I don't put that all on Ryan Kelly, and they really needed to upgrade their center from Garrett Bradbury. So they get one of the best, I think he's overall the 10th best center in the NFL. But his pass blocking is 3rd. So you want centers and guards that not only are good at pass blocking, but also at run blocking. And they just got Jordan Mason and they re-signed Aaron Jones. So they want to be a very balanced offense there. So I think those were huge. And then Javon Hargrave from 2020 to 2023 had a pass rush grade of above 80 or better. Which is really, really awesome. But last year he got injured. Last year he was having a down year. Yep. So to be able to get him for 2 years, $30 million is pretty massive. So those, beefing up both lines, I think that's the way to go. That's all the best teams that I love what they did in free agency. It's based upon what they did on the line. What do you think of the Vikings?
And I was going to say, Rob, if you remember, man, the Minnesota Vikings defense was one of the best in the league last year. And I think a lot of it was coaching because the defense coming from when Kirk Cousins was there to the following year, man, was just like night and day. So for them to keep Harrison Smith, I know he's an older guy, but I'm glad they kept him in that locker room. He seemed like a good vet to keep around. My biggest sign, they kept Byron Murphy, which I didn't think they was going to let him go. But keeping Byron Murphy there was a hell of a move. I like that for the defense. Aaron Jones signing, of course, and even the little nuances, like you said, Jordan Mason, Isaiah Rodgers coming in. I mean, I like what they already had on paper, and to add what they got now, I believe that's why they got this A+, because they were already efficient with what they had coming into free agency, and now getting these little names just kind of put the icing on the top. You know what I'm saying? So, and they still got draft picks. So who knows where they're going with this? They shored up their offense. They already, we know what their offense looks like, right? With JJ McCarthy, the receivers, and the coaching. Now you move from the offensive side. Do they go defense in the first round with their pick? I mean, it's just adding bodies on top of bodies. If you're looking at the formula,
they can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want.
If you look at the formula of the Philadelphia Eagles, man, one thing we know for sure, even with all the all-pro superstar defensive players, they still draft more and more. Just bodies on top of bodies, man. So I like what Minnesota did. And, you know, I can't go without showing the Eagles without.
ELGS, Eagles! Let's go, Birds!
All right, let's debunk.
Let's go Birds, man. Let's go Birds. You know, I got to show the Birds love because I love how they spelled the Eagles, man. But, yeah, like I said, shout out to Minnesota. I believe they put themselves in a situation where through free agency, they got what they needed. They still going to get a couple people, but now on draft day, they can just do whatever they want to do. They could just go best player available at that point, you know? So, I do believe they got an A+ if I had to say so myself, Rock. So, yeah, I love what Minnesota did, man. Who we got next, Playboy?
Before we move on to the next team, I wanted to start off lessons learned from the past week. Last week, I was pretty strongly advocating for the Minnesota Vikings to get Aaron Rodgers. And that's not what ended up happening. Man, I'm getting spam from Texas. So what the hell? Trying to interrupt my thing about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, I thought with the way that this team was built, he was ready to come in right away and give JJ McCarthy a little bit of time to be able to not only come back from injury, but also, too, to be able to learn from one of the best quarterbacks that we have ever seen playing in the NFL. Obviously, right after I said those things, it came out that, oh, no, the Minnesota Vikings are going with JJ McCarthy. So that was a lesson learned for me. I think it shows, and what we should get really excited about is that JJ McCarthy might be better than what we think he is. And now we saw flashes of it in that preseason game. People who have JJ McCarthy shares should be really, really excited to have
or trying to get more before the price go up.
Yeah, that's what they should be doing. If people are asking for like a first and a second, pay it. Just pay it, because like he's going to go into a loaded team. He has one of the best coaches in the NFL, and his coach believes in him. He believes in him so much, and that he's going to be able to take this, really big, this really loaded offense with one of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL, with one of the most underrated running back duos in the NFL, with one of the best tight ends in the NFL. It just makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. They didn't want to deal with the sideshow of Aaron Rodgers, so I didn't think about that. It's all good. But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, hey man, I'm learning too. I mess things up all the time. Maybe I should just shut my mouth and not, try to make these road go.
You weren't wrong about how you felt about Aaron Rodgers, but I just felt like, man, if they do that, you basically telling the rookie that couldn't play last year that, you know what, we still don't trust you. And there ain't no point in drafting him if you don't trust him by now. If you can allow Sam Darnold to run your offense and he puts up 14 wins, you mean to tell me if we drafted you in the draft, number 11, we're going to make you sit behind Aaron Rodgers, who's done nothing in 2 years? Well, you might as well just trade him at that point, Rock. So I'm glad they rolling with JJ, and let's get it started, man. JJ got that swagger, man. He remind me of a kind of a T-Moo Baker Mayfield a little bit, man. So shout out my boy JJ. I rock with him, man. Cool looking dude. Who we got up next, Rock? Who the big grays we got out here, man?
The other one that stuck out to me was the Bears. Now, the Bears, they traded for two, really good offensive linemen, but then they signed in free agency Drew Dahlman, who, earned a 78.8 PFF grade. That ranked 5th amongst centers. And he's now the second highest paid center in football. So, going back to what I was saying earlier about beefing up that center guard trio right there, that's exactly what Ben Johnson is going for. Way too much pressure going right up into Caleb Williams' face, and he just had to keep scrambling the entire time. So it's just like being able to do that, I think, is really, really massive. They got one of the best free agents in free agency.
No, they did. But I will say this, though, Rock. You know I got to get you, man. Nobody is going up. No pressure in Caleb's face, all right? We are not allowing pressure in my boy's face, man. But you know I got to mess with you, bro. But I do love the Bears, though, man. I feel like all we heard about was O-line problems, right? Caleb was sacked the most in the league last year. I think he was about to break a record for the most quarterback of all time if it wasn't for one of those Cobb brothers. So, to me, I believe it had to have been O-line, because when you come in here as Ben Johnson, my job is to get my guy right. I told the world I was coming here for Caleb. He was the reason why I got here. So if I'm coming here to coach him and put him in the prime position and make me look like I made the right decision, I got to protect him. So them making those signings on day one, I think they made these signings, bro, early. They didn't waste no time. They probably had more offers on the table for other offensive linemen that we didn't know about. So I do like them, how they addressed, coming into the game is, look, we're going to address this O-line. I thought they had more signings, bro. I don't see all of them on here. Maybe I'm tripping, but yeah, man, I thought they had more signings than this, man. But either way, PFF got up here what they have up here. And I do love, like I said, what I saw from the Bears. You got to get your guy time, man. And I believe Caleb just needs that time. He's an off-the-cuff kind of quarterback. He's not really a pocket guy. They kind of down him for that, saying how his style doesn't really fit versus what a Jared Goff was able to do. But, man, Caleb was that guy coming into college. He's the guy coming into the NFL. One bad season, man, won't mean nothing, bro. So
they should be able to do more with Caleb Williams because he can throw just as good, and he's a better scrambler, and he's coming out as a more highly rated prospect, one of the best that we've seen.
2025, Rock, if you're not mobile, you get out the game, man. You're going to have to move because these players on defense are getting stronger, faster, and you better learn how to move, man, or better that O-line better be the best in the league. So the days of
DJ Stroud, how rough it is if you're not super mobile.
Listen, I mean, they just tried to they just signed somebody the other day too to try to, I guess, help out. But
was he a locker room leader? Is that what it was?
Maybe, bro. I know the days of Peyton Manning and Tom Brady just sitting around throwing darts is over with, man. You better be able to put them wheels on the ground and get them moving, bro. So what we got next, man? Who the next team we pulling up, bro?
Those are the ones that stuck out to me, man. But here are the other A's: Bills, Broncos, Rams. If you want to talk about our dude Devontae Adams, and then Bucks and Commanders. So which one?
I want to talk about the Broncos, bro, because when you think about the Broncos, they surprised everybody, right? They had this season that nobody saw coming. They got their quarterback. And Sean Payton claimed that this was his guy the whole time in the process, because we had that smoke screen thing between them and the Vikings. They didn't know who was going to take who, and if the Vikings was going to trade up in front of Denver to get this pick. So the Broncos got their guy clearly. Bo Nix was one of them guys as far as the quarterback position go. Trent Sherfield is a solid replacement, I guess, for a little Jordan Humphreys. But I like this one right here, Rod. This Drew Greenlaw. Man, if Dallas Cowboys weren't so damn cheap, bro, I really wanted us to get Drew Greenlaw, man. I mean,
But he's got that Achilles injury, though. That's the only thing I worry about. That's usually a death sentence for linebackers and running backs.
It usually is, but hey, everybody different, Rock. I'm gonna say this. That don't mean his career should be over with, though, right? I mean, I still think at some point you got to take a chance on him because somebody else will. So he got $30 million guaranteed. I look at it like this: when you look at what he's coming from and the defensive system he was in San Fran, he had that Achilles injury during the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Last year, he played like 1 or 2 games, and he didn't play the rest of the season, which I think they tried to Christian McCaffrey him, which I wish they would have sat CMC. But
those damn 49ers doctors.
Bro, why are they making Greenlaw play? Like, the team was over with by the time he got in. But anyway, I trust Greenlaw. I love the player. I love the athlete. And I just think, man, he's going to be hungry to come off of Super Bowl loss, getting hurt in the biggest stage of football and not be able to play all last year. I think he got a point to prove to people, Rock. And I like having stories like his where the underdog, you always talk about the underdog. So coming off that injury, I believe he an underdog this year. And when you look at the Denver Broncos defense, bro, they had a defensive player of the year on their team. This is a defense that didn't even need Dre Greenlaw. So the fact that they got him, to me, man, I love that signing right there, bro. So, and of course, the Evan Ingram one was one of them ones. I think he want to show the world, hey, forget the Jaguars. You know, they the ones cut me for no apparent reason. Who knows why they even cut him? But Liam Cohen came over there. I said, Liam. Yeah, he came over there, and you know how he get down, man. When my boy get in the building,
Duval.
You know what go down when Duval in the building, man. So
Evan Ingram saw that and was like, "Get me the hell out of here."
I think Evan Ingram saw that press conference and probably clowned him in the hallway. And he said, "Man, we gotta get this dude out of here." So I think Evan Ingram got a big chip on his shoulder as well. And yeah, man, I'm betting on the Broncos this year, bro. They made the playoffs last year, sneakily kind of got in. I'm gonna lock them in as a playoff team this year, no question, Rob.
Yeah, and those two tight ends that we've been, mocking to the Broncos with Loveland and Tyler Warren, both of them might be gone by the time the Broncos pick.
Exactly.
So I think that's what we're seeing, where these teams are locking in their boards when it comes to their drafts and stuff like that. So when we see these moves, like Jameis Winston going to the Giants, they think that maybe Shedeur is going to be gone by tip. When we see Evan Ingram go to the Broncos, they think that those other two tight ends are going to be gone by the time that they pick. I think Evan Ingram, when you have like some of the most productive years that we've seen out of a tight end over the last few years, he's gone so under the radar. He broke the record, I believe, for the most receptions by a tight end in NFL history. Yeah. Only 2 years ago. No one's really talking about it. So I know my dude Adam, he really loves Evan Ingram as well. But Coop was just talking about, when you get to this point in your career, you've changed this many teams, we should see a little bit of a downgrade. He is going to a completely new team. I do love Sean Payton. He has a history of using the tight end very, very well, especially when you look at Jimmy Graham. So I think he's still got a lot of, gas in the tank. Yeah. But we should put a little bit of expectations. I don't think it's going to be as amazing as we saw in Jacksonville. In Jacksonville, he was like the number one wide receiver for like 2 years. And then BTJ came along. So,
but I will say, them only having Courtland Sutton last year, they got rid of Jerry Jeudy. This is a prime target for Bo Nix, man. So last year, I remember us hyping up the tight ends. They even traded for who Sean Payton got it. He brought from the Saints, man. He always bring his guys over. I forgot his name, but
that one guy that's like a kind of a block.
The guy that's
no one cares about.
He's pretty much forgettable. That's why I forgot him. But pretty much we know Sean Payton, man. We trust his process with the tight end position. So him getting Evan Ingram, a guy that we know ain't blocking nothing. He going out there running routes and catching passes. I like where Evan Ingram landed because it could have been a whole lot worse. So
Adam Troutman.
There we go. Yep. So who next, Rob? Let's get into some fan favorite teams, man. I know you got your research, so if you want to stick with them, but who we gonna talk about that the people like?
We got to talk about your team. Let's go a little bit negative. We've talked about 3 positive teams. Let's talk about some negative teams.
Man. I'm trying to skip that, man. But
the worst teams in this PFF grade, the 49ers got a D, and then the Cowboys, Packers, Texans, and Titans all got C minuses. So which one do you want to talk about first?
I'm going to be honest, Rod. This doesn't surprise me, though. Like, people act like they're surprised with the Cowboys during the offseason. Oh, man, they let so-and-so go. Remember, we didn't sign Derrick Henry for $6 million last year, right? I remember the stat I brought up 2 weeks ago, Rod. They haven't spent more than $6 million a year on a player since, like, 2013. Every person they signed is $6 million or less as far as their contract goes, yearly salary. Why do people expect the Cowboys to all of a sudden have a A+ grade? That's not what they do, bro. Now, on draft day, though, I will say on draft day, you can guarantee it's going to be a B+ or higher because I trust their draft process. The problem is they wait until these players are young enough and then by the time the players grew up, man, everybody in a division and won a championship, bro, it's time to pay these people. So you got to get some vets around, man, that's hungry and ready to play. And I think now, man, the Cowboys over the last 10 years have just saying, look, we're never drafting, signing nobody. Rock, I'm going to break this down and I'm going to move on from the Cowboys. their first signing on day one of free agency was Javonte Williams. That let me know right there they not doing nothing, bro. They signed Javonte Williams on day one, right? Nobody had to sign Javonte Williams on day one. They did this on day one. So they set the tone to let people know we're not doing nothing. So I ain't really need to talk about the Cowboys. They don't do nothing around this time of the year to me.
Well, they also did give up multiple draft picks. No, wait, they sent a 7th for Kenneth Murray, a former first-round pick. How do you feel about that? You excited for Kenneth Murray at linebacker? They do need linebacker help. It can't just be only Micah Parsons.
I will say this, Rock, when they go, and look, even Elam, when they got Elam from the Bills, right? They go get players that are on their last leg. Like, this is the end of the road for you. You got to do good or you're gone out the league. And I think they bet on people saying, this my year or else. Like, none of these players they traded for, right, they're going to re-sign. They're going to let all of them walk out the door. They just want you in the building to kind of bet on yourself as I need to get a contract next year. So I will say, though, my boy Kevontae Turpin, that was a hell of a signing. We needed him. That spin move he put on the Commanders, man, in that game was just ultimate clip of a kick return. So we needed him. Outside of that, though, Rock, Cowboys offseason moves mean nothing to me, bro. We don't do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're really attacking the offseason like we were hoping for. It looks like they're just going to be just completely okay with the NFL draft. These other teams like that I was hoping we would see a little bit more from. The Texans look like they're going backwards, with giving up Tunsil. And then with the players that they signed, they did sign 2 guards. They're like average to below average. And then they got Braxton Berrios, who I forgot was in the NFL.
I mean, for them to take a step back like that is crazy because the AFC, we seen that even the Las Vegas Raiders, bro, are trying to get better, right? The Las Vegas Raiders are always signing old veterans that they feel like they can win now with, and the Texans are busy getting rid of veterans. So I don't know what the hell going on.
Do you think the Texans finally missed it? They've made the playoffs both years with Stroud and DeMeco Ryans. Do you think they missed it this year? Do you think they maybe haven't done enough, or do you think I'm going to hold out until the draft?
See, the problem is their division, right? When you think about their division, if they weren't in that division, they wouldn't make the playoffs. I think if you could replace them with the Chargers, the Broncos, the Chiefs, that's the even the Pittsburgh Steelers not even having a quarterback. I trust them right now more than the Texans, bro, because I know the Pittsburgh Steelers would at least reach 500. We know that, right? That's kind of like a staple move for Mike Tomlin. So if not for this division, man, if the Jaguars don't do what they need to do, or Anthony Richardson isn't who we think or I think he can be, because a lot of people don't think he'd be anything, they're gonna mess around and win this division and then get eliminated week 1 of the playoffs. So
yeah, and I don't understand all the hate towards the 49ers. They were eviscerated on offense last year. They're trying to cut some contracts. And
this is the hate. Look, it's 2 names right here. This is the hate.
Yeah, and you know what? Mac Jones, he finally gets the quarterback he always wanted. He never wanted Trey Lance. John Lynch said, you're going to draft this guy. And he's like, but he has no experience. And he played at freaking, where did he play at? Was it North Dakota State? Yeah. So it's just like he finally gets the quarterback he always wanted. He's going to be able to get Brock Purdy, what is it called? Valuable reps, and they're going to go back and forth. He's going to be awesome in the film room with him. But I think that's part of the reason why they can't be super aggressive when it comes to the offseason, because they're about to sign him to probably like a top 5 to top 7 NFL contract when it comes to the quarterback. And they get DeMarcus Robinson, who was the perfect complement number 3 when he was in LA with the Rams and stuff like that. So
I mean, but they got 3 DeMarcus Robinsons on the team already, right? They didn't need DeMarcus Robinson, bro.
No, well, you know what? When you lose like 3 guys and you have a jinx over your locker room, then you do need as many bodies as you could possibly throw. And look, they gave up $6 million for him. So
I feel
you need all the receivers you can get.
Well, my biggest thing with the 49ers, I believe they deserve this D, is not because of what they gained, it's what they lost. They lost more than they gained, and every week it seems like they're losing players. They're losing D linemen. They even missed out on the Bosa brother because he went over there. Everybody thought he was going to the 49ers.
All the guys they missed out on were hurt, though. So, like, Dre Greenlaw is coming off an Achilles tear. We were so down on Deebo Samuel because of his whole history of injuries and stuff like that. So, like, did they really miss a whole hell of a lot?
Well, for them to be the 49ers, yes, because we look at them as a playoff contending team. And now that they lost that, you pretty much saying this year, bro, is a wash. Like, I really think CMC should be on the trade block if they can get something back. I'm not sure, but what are you gonna go out there and try to win with him for? You're not gonna win no games with this team.
I think as long as, what would we say all the time, Fizz? If you have the quarterback and you have the coach, you have a chance.
The quarterback though.
Brock Purdy is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. I absolutely think that they do have the quarterback.
Okay.
So.
All right, no knock on your boy, man. It ain't looking pretty over there. That's all I'm gonna say, man. You know, I'm gonna see. Who will never big name team, right? We're gonna do 2 more teams, man, and we're gonna get back to some other stuff, man. But
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like this next segment you're gonna actually enjoy even more. So if you're ready to move on,
I'm gonna bring up 2 more teams. I like what the Eagles did. Of course, we always love what the Eagles do, unfortunately, but yeah, I mean. The Eagles are the Eagles, man. They just, you know, this Zach Bond one, I believe, was the move to make. This guy had a hell of a year last year, bro. And I'm not sure if it was Vic Fangio's defense that made him so good. I don't know, but man, Zach Bond just took off last year. So much deserved contract. The Eagles let Darius Slay go. Who else? They got Kenneth Gainwell. I thought they let go of Kenneth Gainwell, bro. Maybe I'm tripping. I thought they lost Kenneth Gainwell.
He went to the Steelers. That's inaccurate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what? Maybe they talking about they losses. What? Oh, it said with Najee now, and the Steelers will. Oh, okay, yeah. So they showing that they cut him. Okay, why they put that up here then? I don't know.
That's
but
just,
yeah, I'm
know.
Kenneth Gainwell gone. All right, but yeah. I mean, you know, Philly did what they did, man. Of course, we looking for them on draft day though. That's just the team that on draft day they're gonna make 5 trades, and I always say they better win, and they won. So no knock on Philly, no shade over here other than spell the damn team name right. Commanders got an A-, man. They re-signed Noah Brown. They got John Bates. Of course, Deebo Samuels they traded for. They kept Mariota. They went and got Laramie Tunsil in the trade, gave away like 4 picks. I thought they overpaid to me. They paid for Javon Kinlaw to me personally, but they got him. We'll see what he does with them. And from the looks of it, $10 million guaranteed, technically, I guess. So I guess that's just not bad.
Don't forget about Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner, even at his age, is still a top 3 middle linebacker in the NFL. I believe
he's a Dan Quinn guy, man. He love Quinn. He gonna be here as long as Quinn coaching, man. I honestly be on the lookout for Bobby Wagner to be an assistant coach if Dan Quinn's still coaching when he lead the game. I honestly,
he's a Hall of Famer. When it's all said and done, Bobby Wagner's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. No question, bro. No question at all, man. Bobby is one of them dudes. He's gonna be playing till he's 40 if you let him. He's the LeBron right now of the NFL. As far as the age and the youth going on. Bobby is a dog. So they kept Zach Ertz.
Yeah, my dude Zach Ertz. I was wanting everyone to buy him last year. You still can. You probably only have to pay 2/4 for him, and you can get a top 12 tight end. But
yeah. And if you got Benson out on your team, why not? Right? Just have both and wait for the other one to come in when the other one not in. So yeah, I mean the Commanders got an A-, man. That was a good look. And I don't think nobody in the chat put their team up, Rock. So we gonna let
Kyer Elam is a bum. That's it.
I mean, hey Connor, that's why I said he's on his last leg, bro. He gotta be. If it's now or never, you know what I'm saying. So I think the jury when he tells these people on the phone, hey man, we want to bring you in, sign you, but this your last chance, Playboy. What you gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying? I think that's literally what he say to him. So we'll see what they do, man. We'll see what they do. We off them Cowboys, but.
So for this next segment, I wanted to ask you, Fizz, just to kick things off. What do you think the most important things are that players consider before going to a new team? Because I think this plays hand in hand with the free agency. What do you think those things are that players most look forward to?
Well, it depends on what position. So I was going to say quarterback, but of course it depends on position, right? So I'll say number 1, probably place to live, because I think some people like being in certain, Miami would sound good, right? But number 2, I'm not sure if these young guys look at the history of the game no more. I think these young dudes, like, man, we don't care if you won a championship 20 years ago. So I don't know, Ross, because it's kind of the position friendly for me. Like, if I'm a receiver, I'm going for the, where the quarterback is. If I'm a D lineman, I want to go where Vic Fangio is, because I know, what I'm saying? So I think sometimes it's situation. That's how I can kind of compound it. Situation and who's hot right now. If I'm a D lineman or linebacker and the Philadelphia Eagles call me, hell yeah, sign me up. You know what I'm saying? So if I put it in 3 categories to keep it short. Situation, best available, as far as like, your set skill set, who the guys are there on a, maybe you got a teammate, because D-Hop wanted to go with Derrick Henry. And I say contract, baby. Hey, who paying the money? Whoever got the money, that's where I'm going. So that's how I'm gonna put it. Situation, best available as far as what fits me best, and pay me the money, man. You got the money, I'm showing up.
I think those are major, super important things, Fizz. I was actually looking at this because one of the signings that the Vikings had, they talked about how his ultimate decision to go with the Vikings had to do with the reputation of the franchise. Okay. And how do we know about the reputations of the franchise? This is something that's not really talked about. I think one of the most fascinating things, the last 3 years, Fizz, they've done the NFLPA survey. So this past year, they surveyed 1,695 players. So that's roughly 77%.
You talking about for the grades for each okay, go ahead.
For each franchise, they do this from August 26th, and they ended it November 20th. The results came out in February, and nobody talked about them. So they go through these categories: treatment of families, food and dining area, which, for me, that would be at the top of my list right there.
My boy Rock, man.
Nutritionist, dietitian, locker room, training staff, strength coaches, team travel, head coach, and ownership. So the NFL franchises as a whole, they actually did better than they did the year before. There was a lot more A's and a hell of a lot less D's and F's. Thank God for the NFL players. You know what 2 teams have been at the top every year of this survey?
Well, I'm gonna say this: there are 2 losing franchises for sure.
No.
For real? Okay, all right.
You just said one of them earlier. We've actually talked about both the whole time.
Damn, the Vikings.
Vikings has been in the top 2 every year. You know what the other one was? You just said them earlier about places to live.
Miami. Oh yeah. Because Miami was gonna be my one that I read for like a lot of the A's and B's and like situations. But this is the problem though, right? I don't mean to just cut you short, but I will say it seemed like when I looked at that list, a lot of the teams that had the A's were teams in, I don't want to say this. A lot of teams were teams in places that you wouldn't pick to live as you on vacation. They weren't vacation spots. Other than Miami, Vegas, I think, was one of them. But it was either like a losing franchise or somewhere where it's like Minnesota. No knock on anybody in Washington, Minnesota, but I'm not coming here to vacation with you. You know what I'm saying? So, but go ahead with your point. My bad, bro. I ain't mean to cut you.
Apparently, they got the best fishing in the country, and that was actually a big thing when I can't remember what player it was that went in there. I'll have to take a look the next time we go back and forth. But most improved from the last year, the Chargers went from 30th on the list to 5th last year.
Damn.
The Falcons went from 25th.
Is that Jim Harbaugh?
It's a huge part of it is Harbaugh. That's a huge part of it, they were saying. Falcons went from 25th to 3rd. The Commanders went from 32nd to 11th.
You can't get no worse than Dan Snyder, bro. So I understand.
Can't. So they just completely changed their franchise over in 1 year. And we saw the success they had with their coaching staff and with Jaden Daniels at quarterback. But it started with the ownership and the GM completely changing things around.
Yeah.
So those are the positive things. But I like being negative because it's fun sometimes. The Cardinals, once again, were the worst rated franchise in the NFL. They got D's in 4 categories and an F- for locker room, an F for the weight room. And I wanted to go through a couple of these other ones, and then we can laugh at these teams, as we go through them. The Bengals got an F- for treatment of families.
They got an F on food too, Rocky. You need to go ahead
And they got
up.
an F
You
for
can pull
food
up,
and
bro.
dining area.
You
So
need to
it's
pull
just
up,
like
man. Put your resume in, bro.
those are like the two. If you could just be an A in two categories, you know what it would be? It'd be treating the family with love and care, and and showing them that. But then also too with the food, those are like the two most important categories. So it's just like you're not going to be
Crazy.
able to be in a winning situation with those two. That's why the Bengals missed the playoffs. Jaguars got an F also for treatment of families. The Broncos apparently have a shitty locker room. The Patriots, their weight room and their team travel, apparently they're probably flying. What's it called?
Hey, Rock, have you seen the pictures of the Patriots locker room, bro?
What does it look like? Does it look like something out of a Rocky movie?
Bro, yes, it does. It looks like a 19. It looked like when Tom Brady got drafted, they didn't add one thing to it. They just kept it the same, bro. So
They're like, it's good enough for Brady. Let's just keep it the way it is.
I mean, I'm pretty sure every college in New England, in that area of Boston or whatever, Massachusetts, is way better than the New England Patriots locker room, bro. It's crazy.
And apparently they're flying Spirit, so that's the reason why they got an F for team travel. The
Yeah,
Commanders also got an F for locker room. They probably got the poop pipe bursting in there as well.
Facts.
The Browns, get an F minus for locker room. Their stadium is just a big trash heap. It's the most terrible stadium in the NFL. Great fans, terrible stadium. Bills got an F minus for travel. I could just imagine them being on the tarmac, getting on that plane. And it's blizzard and snowing the whole damn time. And it's probably terrible. Eagles also got an F for team travel. So maybe they're going to reinvest with all this new Super Bowl money into one of those G5 planes. But then this is the funniest one. The Jets got an F for ownership. He was the only one to get an F. And
I did see that.
So, like, everyone gives shit for Jerry Jones being a meddlesome owner and stuff like that. That's not the way his players feel about him. They gave him a solid B. So it's just like there are much, much worse owners. Tepper got like a C minus, but then the Jets owner, what is his name? Woody Johnson.
Well, he out there taking pictures with Sexy Red with his 10 chains on, so it'd be sometime, man, the prize is owning the team, but running the team, you have no idea what's going on. And I like what Terminal said, reputation is important because remember the Jonathan Taylor thing in Indy, and Reggie White was a great player. He came to Green Bay, leaving Philly. So, I always talk about work environment, man. That's my thing. Work shouldn't feel like work. And when it starts feeling like work, you might get the best me, you might not. So, if you pay me millions of dollars, that's the thing I hate, right? Us as fans and people in the media say, "Well, you getting paid $5 million a year? Why are you complaining?" Bro, I don't care if it's $5 a year, bro. You can complain when the environment doesn't fit.
They're still human beings. They're still human beings.
Because if your son or nephew or niece or uncle, whoever played in that environment, no matter how much they made, you would say, "Come on, man, y'all gotta hook my family up." But when it hits home, it's different. So I don't judge these guys on what they think, but I do judge the Bengals on having an F for food, man. I mean, you just signed $660 million in contracts, and you can't get a Chick-fil-A sandwich up in there, bro. Come on, man.
They're feeding them shitty ass Skyline chili. That's what Cincinnati is known for. That's what they got.
What the food like in Cincinnati, Rock? Is it good?
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's not that great. There's only a couple spots that I really, really love in Cincinnati, Ohio. They got this really good Southern restaurant called the Eagle.
Yeah.
And some of the best fried chicken. It is so damn good. But everyone knows Cincinnati for freaking Skyline chili, where they take some shitty ass with basically like a slop witch, and then they put it on top of spaghetti. It's the dumbest ass shit of all time. And that's probably what they're serving their families and those players. And that's why they play like shit and they don't have
Well, I know Moms is on the quest to go to all 32 teams. And she said the Commanders, Eagles, Seahawks, all their locker rooms is trash. And pretty much the Cowboys, Raiders, Rams has some of the best. So, Moms would know. She done been to 17? You said, Mom? I thought she was on 20 by now. But hey, we're gonna boost that up real soon. We're gonna have to make us a trip, lock it in. But I do know the Commanders. I've never been in a locker room, but I tell you one thing: when you pull up in the parking lot, it look like trash. So I'm pretty sure the inside ain't no better, man. So I'm cool on those. I think the Eagles even have a jail in their stadium, bro. So that lets you know something. Yeah, it's a jail underneath for all the drunk people that be tripping out there. So
yeah, they probably actually need that one there with all those crazy ass Philly fans. It's always sunny in Philadelphia, though. But with the player that spurred this whole thing, it was actually Javon Hargrave. Javon Hargrave is apparently a huge fisher, and that's one of the things that he asked first and foremost. And then the people he talked with, they're like, you need to go this spot. You got to go with this spot. So having that connection for that personal thing that is valuable to you, if you want to, during the off season or during your days off, get some time and peace and stuff like that, like being able to help players with that kind of thing. Apparently that was the thing that pushed him over the edge. Yes, he's gone to one of the best teams in the NFL, roster for roster, one of the best coaches. But it's kind of like when, high school kids and their parents are looking at different college campuses.
Exactly.
It's just like, you don't just want, we have these academics and we're ranked here and ranked here. It's everything. It's the whole package. It's the whole vibe. So I think that's all very, very important. It's not talked about enough. So I'm glad we got to go through this.
No, that was a good one to pull up, bro. Speaking of the Bengals and Cincinnati and all that terrible eating, man, you got to know what you got cooking, bro. You know how we end the show, man, how we get up to feed the people after giving them this long-ass menu or whatever we served them today, man. It's finally time to let them know what's on that menu, Rock. So you want a little bit of music or you want to just do a solo? How you want to do it, man? I'm going to let you do it.
If we got music, that would be great. I don't care if we do get a strike, but that would be awesome.
Well, we're going to let them cook. We don't get struck. We don't get strikes on this one, brother.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is one of my favorites right here. Anyway.
Let you cook, man. So let us know what you got popping, bro.
So I want for Gordon Ramsay's slow cooked beef short ribs right here. That's all the ingredients that we got right there, Fizz. If you could pull up the ingredients.
Hey, I'm not a steak man, but this look good as a mug up in here, Rock. Go ahead and break it down for him, brother.
So this is what you want for this recipe. You're going to want to take a screenshot of this for the materials that you need, the ingredients. I'm going to get right into the recipe, though. So the same thing that we did with those steaks, you're going to want to season those short ribs the night before on that rack and bacon sheet. Leave it uncovered in the refrigerator. That cold refrigerator air, it's going to dry out the outside of those short ribs, and you're going to get a really nice sear, Fizz, when you put those guys in the Dutch oven. You want to take out those steaks about 2 hours beforehand, so you allow them to come up to room temp. Put your oven at 350 degrees, and then we're going to get to cooking. You're going to want to take your Dutch oven, and this is going to be important. They're kind of expensive, but they're well worth it. There is nothing like a Dutch oven. Well worth the investment. Go look at trying to get one either off of Craigslist or something like that. So
bro, you're going to find customized ovens. Come on, bro. Dang.
No, this Dutch oven it's in a ceramic piece.
Right now,
it's a ceramic piece.
Ahead,
there
bro.
ain't nothing like it, and you're going to make the best stews, the best chili. Anything that you're going to slow cook, it is well worth the price. The same way you kind of need a cast iron. There ain't no substitute for it. So that's why buy it on the cheap. Go and one of those Salvation Army stores or whatever they're called. My wife shops at those all the time. But yeah, you can get a Dutch oven, one of those. Put that Dutch oven on medium heat with avocado oil. You're going to want to add your short ribs, barely smoking, and brown the meat on all sides. This is one of the most important steps right here, is browning that meat. You don't want to do it too much over because you're going to be cooking this thing in the oven for about 3 to 4 hours. You just want to get a nice brown crust. And then you're going to take your garlic head. You're going to want to chop that in half horizontally. And then you're going to want to press that down at the bottom of that Dutch oven. And you're going to want to start to roast it. Then you're going to add your tomato paste. Cook that, like a couple tablespoons. Cook that out for about 1 or 2 minutes. Then you're going to want to take a whole bottle of red wine. One that you like to personally drink. Don't get one that's too expensive because this is going in a sauce. But don't put some shitty-ass decoy wine that you yourself wouldn't even want to drink. So you pour that whole bottle minus 1 glass because it's important to be drinking while you're cooking. So you pour that out into the Dutch oven. And you're going to deglaze the bottom, scraping up the little bits from the bottom once you pour it in that Dutch oven. Bring it up to a boil, medium-high heat, and cook until the liquid is reduced by half. So it's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes, Fizz, to be able to do this. Once you bring that to a boil, you're going to add your beef stock, bring that up to a boil. And then you're going to take this Dutch oven, and you're going to want to stick it into the oven and cook it for about 3 to 4 hours. The moment that you can take your fork and it can pierce easily through your meat, and when you pull it back out, it does not stick to the meat, that's when you know it's done. So I usually check for it after 3 hours. This time it took us about 3.5 hours to be able to do this. And then shortly before your short ribs are finished, you're going to want to cook your pancetta in a frying pan, and then set that aside. In that same pan, without cleaning it out, with those fats that are still in the pan, you're going to fry up your mushrooms. And then add chicken stock, minced garlic, butter, Worcestershire sauce. And once those are nice and roasted, you're going to want to set those aside. And then when the short ribs, like I said earlier, when they're ready, you can pull that thing out. Remove the garlic head fizz. You're going to want to push that through a sieve into a saucepan with some of that braising liquid, and you're going to make a really nice sauce out of that braising liquid fizz. Add some butter so it gets nice and velvety and smooth, and reduce it until it's about halfway, until it's nice and thick. So that's going to take another about 10 to 15 minutes. Then when you plate your short ribs, you put that on the plate, put the pancetta over, the mushrooms over, sauce, and then garnish with parsley. And I think we got a video just to display what the finished product looks like. Oh, you're on mute, Fizz.
Oh, my bad. You know, we got to drop that on them, man. Mom said that Dutch oven, man, make a huge difference. She going to try that. So, Rob, I'm going to say this. I'm going to live my menu through Mom's, man. Mom said she's going to start cooking your food, bro. So, I'm going to see if Mom's
there you go.
Cook it up the way you cooking it, man. So, shout out to Mom's, man, for getting that menu together for me, because I'm going to need it. And we're going to make that with love. Let's see what. Hey, Rock, I was trying to pause it. I can't pause it on this one, man. I was wanting to get that pause on the end, man, so we can see it, man. But hey, I wish we would have got the top view, man. I need to see the top view after you didn't cut it up, man. But look good though, brother. Look good, man. You muted, bro. You muted. Let me see.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, this is one of my favorite things. If you guys just don't want to eat steak, like 7 days, 7 nights out of the week, this is a very nice, very easy recipe to be able to do. And here's the thing: just like meatloaf, short rib actually tastes better the next day. So make sure the key things are get that good sear, don't overcook it, and then with all these other ingredients, it's just there's so much that goes into it. It's going to taste good every single time. So
my boy got people hungry, man. You got the people hungry, Rock. You can't keep showing them the food and not let them have. You got to start shipping and handling, man. I don't know, bro. Nah, they be like, random always popping in whenever the food. He don't care about nothing else, man. Where the food at? So we appreciate you, random, man, for coming through, bro.
And if you guys if you have a recipe, either one that you've always wanted to try, or your favorite recipe of all time, put it in the chat, DM me, put it in the comments after the show, and I will try to find the best version of that recipe for you and cook it up for you guys. So
there we go.
I'm giving my favorite recipes, ones that are true staples of, just my culinary expertise and stuff like that. But for me, I want to be able to cook for you guys. That's when it's always the best. Both these meals I cooked over the weekend were for friends and loved ones. So that's what it's all about for me. So, but I want to be able to interact with you guys and do this for you guys. So,
well, I'm gonna say this, Rob. Not this week, maybe soon though. I might have a challenge for you. I might do those cooking
like
shows.
Iron Chef.
Nah, not that. I'm talking about like one of those we gonna call it the COOKUP basket, and it's like 7 ingredients that don't make no sense, and then you got to make something out of it, bro. We might have to put that together. Meals, sour nerds, and something else. I don't know, but we might have to figure that out and see.
Damn, that would be crazy.
You might have to make that a challenge, bro.
And also, too, real quick, I have this right here. This is where this recipe comes from. Gordon Ramsay is second only to Jesus for me. Gordon Ramsay is a huge influence for me. I absolutely love him. If you want to look up this recipe, you just type in Gordon Ramsay short rib. This is where it comes from right here. Absolutely huge influence for me. One of my favorite chefs of all time.
All right, there we go, man. Y'all heard it from my boy, man. My boy, Heat Rock. We gonna start calling you Heat Rock, man. You over there cooking it up, bro. You know what I'm saying? You doing your thing. I'm sure my brother Young Molly ain't gonna like that one. That was his name. We might have to call you Heat Rock, man. So I will say though, Rock, we ain't let the people know, man, that we got what we got going on tonight. We didn't have, for those in the Patreon that probably nobody said anything, so I guess y'all weren't waiting, but we didn't have a mock yesterday to get prepared for the night. So just a heads up to everybody that's in the Patreon. If you signed up, we will be sending out the link around 5 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to go live tonight. So no pre-planned, pre-drawn mock. We doing a mock draft live tonight. We ain't going to do the marathon startup tonight, Connor. So, but we appreciate you. I'm going to get at you and ask you about that one. But yeah, we're going to do a regular 12-team PPR, 2 quarterbacks, however the settings go. Just be ready when we send that link out and make sure you show up on time. We don't want no auto drafts live, man. So 7:30 p.m., me and my boy will be back in the kitchen cooking up. If you want to join the live, join the Patreon. And if you are a part of the Patreon community, we appreciate you. Shout out to you for keeping the lights on. And also, we do got the draft guide, man. It's right online. You can check that out. Draftguide25.com. All them rookies that we love talking about. I'm not sure who writing up on Cam Ward, but they got to put in there that his arm is crazy. This is all I need to read. I don't even read nothing else. So we'll be updated as it's going on. You know, these pro days, these draft, and back in April, I think the April 24th, I believe, is the first day of the draft. So keep you updated. They look dope. A fire piece of artwork, man, if you ask me. So learn about these rookies, man. You know what I'm saying? The guys putting a lot of hard work on it. Draftguide25.com. That's all you got to click. Look that up. Order you one, even if you don't care about looking at it. Send it to your cousin because he like football, you know? So we appreciate y'all joining us, tapping in 7:30 tonight or 7:30 p.m. tonight. We will be in the building. And we're going to close out with a nice word of wisdom from my boy Rock, man. So, Rock, I'm getting off the screen. No, I thought I was on the screen.
Before we do that, real quick.
Okay. Hold on. Get my fills off. There we go. That's
let's answer before we do that. Let's answer easy.
Oh, Dynasty. My fault, bro.
Yeah, and also to Connor, that that duck breast that Gordon Ramsay makes is really, really good. He's the one that taught me how to make duck breast. But yeah, we got Easy B's question right here.
Yes, sir. Let me bring it back up. Easy, my fault, brother. I almost forgot about you, man. We got you though. He said, I need a dynasty question. He said I was offered to give the pick 25 or 2025 pick 102 and DJ Moore for a 104 and St. Brown. Good deal, right? Or should I stay away from this trade? So he's giving the 102 and DJ Moore. Oh, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing this one right here, bro.
Yeah, I think St. Brown is probably at least a couple of tiers above DJ Moore. Definitely. In the 104, if you tune in, you know, what we've been doing with these mocks, like that could be very well a Marion Hampton.
Bro. Yeah, yep. You can replace that Genty 102. And who's to say Hampton won't be the better rookie? Who knows? So I like this.
Yeah.
Smash is set right now. Easy. Sorry we got to you so late. But if you still here, my boy, running back, smash except on this one, my man.
Yeah. Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of my favorite wide receivers in the NFL. I think he's a top 5 wide receiver.
For sure.
But DJ Moore, he's going to still have a good season next year. He ain't anywhere close to what Amon-Ra St. Brown is. So, and then only 2 picks difference with it's the same tier of players between the 102.
Smash yourself on this one, Easy, man. Do your thing, buddy boy. We appreciate you in the question. Rock, man, we're going to let the people leave out with you. Give us a word of wisdom. You can freestyle if you got it written down in your black book of notes, man. Let us know. Drop a gem on us, man, and we're going to get up out of here, bro. Do your thing.
So we've been talking back and forth, you and me, Fizz, about what we want to try to do with this show. And I want to leave, this show on this note where people think about something, throughout the rest of the day, for the rest of the week, on just what it means just to be a human being and living life. So like my words of wisdom for this week is put others' hearts and minds ahead of your own. It goes a long way to being a caring person. So the next time that you're thinking about having a conversation with somebody, you have something that's weighing on you, something that you're thinking about. When you go into that conversation, you ask that other person that you're talking with, what's going on with them? What's on their mind? What's on their heart? And how can you be a help to them? By you putting them first, it's actually going to be a hell of a lot more impactful than you putting your thing first. And if you still feel that way, afterwards, then you can share what's on your mind and what on your heart. But put other people's, hearts and minds ahead of your own. And that's it, Fizz.
You supposed to say hi, and then we was gonna get out of here, bro. So go ahead and give him that. We out of this thing.